And then when I did, I have that was good. Okay. I was. Hearing one day, I'll show you that. When I. Back for this. So. Ellie, hello. You know, I don't very feeling first off, so considering the design. Well, already members of the system. The service was still sending. So, you feel the case of the service. You tell me that she may not be able to before I had thought hospital the whole time. And then the one piece of the was showing us. And so we are person in the house. So as well as is the sheet of the general and not to be attached. My batch obviously the book is the color which more than simply what we think. Also, all the that's possibly the hour and some of the function factors they like that. So that's the big thing. So we have some schools. Yeah. See those. Something for the same ways, people would think this, you know, really. No, yeah, I'm doing well. I like it. I don't. I said, say that. It's never wrong. It's all the worst of it. Should say it. It's emotional. Appreciate it. You know, some were good. The first idea, don't wait. I want to find it. So I've never watched. Someday you have. Yeah. Every. Yeah. What's on it? Yeah, I started to now show. That was how. Saving more than 2 hours for the service, and she wants all of it. And she was a big. I was trying to find person. You know, so it's gone, you know, so.
Tom.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Lauren. It's so nice to meet you in person and I asked her.
Like to go to his host for.
Yeah, it's all good, like.
Yeah.
So random, and my friend Justin was like, and he's like, oh, yeah, there's nowhere, it's just a natural shoot bag that happened. My friend just, oh, I would see. Yeah. Oh, good, so I'll come in so much a little bit more today, so, yeah, so.
So there's always been one person, 7 days. If they kind of see their strategy, kind of all of them. So that's how you need this. That yeah, like,
Yeah, that's.
it probably makes no sense.
You know. So things, my, I love it, I got one. And most of it. I do list.
She must have seen the school start, seeing who was just fine.
I eat.
She.
Okay, so I'm just double.
It's also.
Oh,
are you doing by the side? And all of them. Oh, yeah. I told him it's something. I'm getting free out again. It's not. Oh, yeah.
They soft.
Yeah, you've also got. Never fucking friend today, one of the others. Yeah. I love
Give the ice.
That's right, yeah.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. A few words of introduction. We have Pastor Nathan, who's here from Wayside Presbyterian, and we are so thrilled to welcome you and your students and families. And so just some words of guidance in the prayer book. This is the prayer book we'll be using. Hope you have one. And it opens the opposite way of an English book, so you can follow along. And hope that you'll enjoy and follow along in whatever you can. Please sing along with us. If you don't know the words, just make them up. We do. It'll be fine. Whatever you feel comfortable at. So we're thrilled that you're here. And we will begin Shabbat as we enter into this mythic experience of Shabbat on page 2, as we light our Shabbat candles and invite Pam forward to light our candles.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
Push the top first, and then pull. Push the top in.
I know.
You think so?
I've done it sometimes, but I was doing that. Thank you. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu v'tzivanu v'hadachneir b'shal Shabbat. Amen.
The Kabbalat Shabbat service, the service of Friday evening, is one in which we prepare ourselves to enter into that sacred moment, that sacred day of Shabbat. And we do that with song and prayer. And so we'll turn together to page 10 and join in Hine Matov, how good it is for us to be together.
Hine ma tovu manayim shevet achim gam Yachad. Hine ma tovu manayim. Shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov. Shevet achim gam yachad. Hine my tov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad.
And on page 12, come let us sing joyously to God. Raise a shout for our rock and deliverer. Let us come into God's presence with praise. Let us raise a shout for God in song. For Adonai is a great God, the great ruler of all divine beings.
Lechu neranina, lechu neranina, lechu neranina, l'Adonai. Lechu neranina, lechu neranina, lechu neranina, l'Adonai. Naria, naria, litzuri, shenu dekan mafabitoda. Sorry. Naria, naria, litzuri, shenu. Ismiro nairato. Lechuneranina, 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 l'Adonai. Lechuneranina, 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 l'Adonai.
And turning to page 20, we join in Lecha Dodi, that mystic poem in which we greet our bride. We greet the bride of Shabbat, reenacting the relationship between God and the people of Israel as a marriage. And so as we reach the very end, the last stanza, we'll rise together as our mythic bride enters our lives.
Dodi brat kala yalalai 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 panei Shabbat dekabela. Dodi brat kala yalalai 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 panei Shabbat dekabela. Shalom Evachor B'di Borechad Ishmianu El Am Yochad Adonai Echad U'Shmo Echad B'Shem U'Tiferet V'Tila Lecha Dodi likrat kala yalalai 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 panei Shabbat dekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'lecha hihi mekor b'rachah. Merosh niketem nesucha Soma asle b'machshava tchila Lecha dodi likrat kala yalalai 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 panei Shabbat dekabela. Boi v'shalom ateret v'ala gam lesimcha v'sola toch emunei am segula boi chala Aboi chala Lecha dodi likrat kala yalalai 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 panei Shabbat dekabela.
Please be seated as we continue page 22. Mizmor Shir Yom HaShabbat, a song for Shabbat.
Mashir liyom hashabbat, tov lechodot Adonai. Uzamer l'shimcha elyon, uzamer l'shimcha elyon. Mizmor shir liyom hashabbat, tov lechodot Adonai. Uzamer l'shimcha elyon, uzamer l'shimcha elyon. V'hagid b'boker chazyacha, Le'emunatecha ha'leilot. Alei Yosef v'alei Navel, Alei Gayon v'chidot. Mizmor shir liyom hashabbat, tov lechodot Adonai. Uzamer l'shimcha elyon, uzamer l'shimcha elyon.
As we turn to page 24, we join in Shalom Aleichem, those words of blessing for peace and wholeness in our lives. And when one person meets another, one says, Shalom Aleichem, peace be on you, and the other responds, Alechem Shalom on you, may there be peace.
Shalom Aleichem, Malchei Hasharet, Malchei Elyon. Mimelech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Lechem Shalom, Lechem Shalom, Malchei Elyon. Mimelech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu milesha Hashalom, Malchei Elyon. Mimelech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem Shalom, Malchei Hashalom, Malchei Elyon. Mimelech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
As we turn to page 26, we rise for Chatzi Kaddish, and then following that, on the following page, we'll join in Baruch Hu, our call to worship.
Yitkadash Shmei Rabbah,
Amen.
Ve'amad Yivarach Erte, Ve'amlich Malchute, Ve'chayechonu V'yomechon, U'chayedecha Beit Yisrael. Gala, V'zman Tarif, V'maru Amen. Yesh Me'rahu Mevorach, Le'olam Me'omayah, Yitbarach V'yishtabach, Yitbar V'yitramam V'yitnaseh, Yitadar V'yitaleh V'yitalal, Shemei Kudisha,
Baruchu.
Lamin Kol Berchata V'shirata, Tu Shbechata V'nechemata, Damiran Be'alma, B'maru Amen. Baruch hu et Adonai hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Leolam Vaed. Please be seated as we continue page 31 with Ma'ariv Aravir. Let's join together at the top of the page. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spins to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv Aravim. Page 33. Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol. All these things your Torah gives to us. And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works and the living language that gives it form? Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. So we turn to page 34 as we rise and join in Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Vaed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Vaed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Please be seated as we continue with Va'ahavta, page 36.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol ravcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha ve'hayu ha'dvarim ha'elah asher Anuchi mitzavecha Hayom Ha'avcha Vishinantam Urvanecha Vidibarta Bam Vishivtecha B'veitecha Upleftecha B'derech U'shofbecha V'kumecha Ukshartam leot al yadecha ve'hayu totafot b'neinecha uktavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'b'sharecha leman tizkeru Asitem et kol mitzvotai, v'yitem kedoshim le'Elohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem, asher hotzeiti echem מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם, אמת.
Page 30, page 39. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt, we were delivered. At Sinai, we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed.
Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea.
As we join in our song of freedom, Mi Chamocha, page 40.
Mi chamocha bailim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh, no tehilot, o sefer.
מלכותך ראו בניך בוקע ים לפני משה ומרים, זה אלי ענו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב, וגלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל ישראל. Page 43. Let's join together at the very top. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, haporeh sukat shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. Ve'al Yerushalayim.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Amen.
Page 45. We are a people in whom the past endures, in whom the present is inconceivable without moments gone by. The Exodus lasted a moment enduring forever. What happened once upon a time happens all the time. And we join in our prayer of thanks for the day of Shabbat, V'shamru, top of page 44.
Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. B'nei Yisrael oti le'olam, oti le'olam. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני, אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
Page 47. Pray as if everything depended on God and act as if everything depended on you. So we rise together and we say, Adonai sifatai tiftach, ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open our lips, that our mouths may declare your praise.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah. Hagadol, Hagibor, Hanora, El Gomer Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Chastei Avot V'imot, Umevei Geula Livnei B'neihem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer, Shia U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah. Page 50. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechaye hakol tareh lehoshia, Mashiv haruach u'morid hagashem, Mechakel chayim b'chesed, Mechaye hakol b'rachamim rabim, Somech noflim v'rofei cholim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato, Lishenei afar. Michamocha b'gevurot, u'midomela, Melech meimit u'mechaye, u'matzmiach Yeshua, v'ne'eman atah l'chayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai, mechaye hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, kadoshim b'chol yom yahalu chasela. Baruch atah Adonai, HaKadosh.
Please be seated as we continue together at the top of page 55. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. And may all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Page 57. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu ba'amcha Yisrael. Ever-present one, may we, your people Israel, be worthy in our deeds and our prayer. Wherever we live, wherever we seek you, in this land, in Zion restored, in all lands, you are our God, whom alone we serve in reverence. Baruch atah Adonai, she'otcha levadcha b'yirah na'avod. Page 59. Modim anachnu lach, God of goodness. We give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us, so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth, which day by day sustains us. For all these and more, we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulecha na'eh lehodot. We join in our prayer for peace, page 60.
Shalom Ra Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'am. Shalom Ra Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'am. Ki atah Adon lecha shalom. Ki atah Adon lecha shalom. Shalom Israel Tasim Le'am. Shalom Israel Tasim Le'am. V'tov beinecha levarech et amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Israel Tasim Le'am. Shalom Israel Tasim Le'am.
We take some moments for those prayers in our hearts and minds, some moments of silent prayer.
Yehiyu leratzon imreitzi tehegyon libi lefanecha Adonai Tzuri Tegoavi
We turn together to page 253. And we join in a blessing of healing, a prayer for healing for all those who may need healing of body, healing of soul, mind, or heart. And in our congregation, we especially mention Ross McCullough, Barbara Shapira, Marcia Koblitz, Eric Shabetta, Doug Botner, Louis Tenenbaum, Melanie Wood, Stephanie Willis, Irv Willis, Corinne Egan, Darlene Sharp, Jill Smokler, Roseanne, Judy, Harry Miller, Joe Fries, Steve, John Myers, Robert Unger, Jordan Kozłecki, Marianne Flatterly, Michael Kroner, Carol Ford, Elliot Goldman, Alan Zimmer, Eliana Waite, Vera Shervetsky, Berko Shervetsky, Sam Bauer, Kara George, Ben Hackshaw, Manny Lowe, Sheila Rones, Heather Vidmar McEwen, MM and RM, Ron Levin, and Kendra Zacks. If you're joining us via live stream and you would like to add a name, please add the name into our chat. And if you are here in person and would like to add a name as I look around, please do so.
Linda Castro and Eric Perry.
We join together.
Mishabera Avoteinu Mekol Havracha Avoteinu. May the source of strength who blessed the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mishabera Imotenu Mekol Bracha Otenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah Shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
Shabbat Shalom. It is great to have all of you here, our guests and our temple family all together for Shabbat as we begin a new chapter, a new book in our reading. This week we begin reading the book of Shemot, the book of Exodus, exactly. And in Parshat Shemot, at the very beginning of Exodus, we are really invited to reflect not only on the power of our narrative, of our people's beginnings, but I think also on deeper, in a more metaphysical question that really arises out of that story. Here's the scene. It's Moses' encounter with God. It's the burning bush. Heard of it, right? Moses is born as a part of an Israelite slave family. He is miraculously saved from the decree of killing all male firstborns by none other than Pharaoh's daughter. He is returned to that same birth family miraculously And when he's when he's older, he is brought up in the palace. So as a young prince, Moses enjoys all of the accoutrements of living in the palace. And when he sees an Egyptian beating and attacking an Israelite slave, he acts and kills the taskmaster. Fearing for his own safety and retribution against that killing, Moses flees and ends up a poor shepherd in Midian. And one day, while he's caring for the flock, he finds himself on a mountain. And on that mountain, God speaks to him. It's not merely the conversation between God and Joseph that really captivates our attention, though. It's one little phrase that that the text tells us that God says. And the phrase is that God says to Moses, take off your shoes, because where you're standing is sacred and holy. So let's think about that for a moment. I think there's an interesting significance to that command. Shoes, an interesting metaphor, right? How many pairs of shoes do you own? My wife is a shoe aficionado. Many, many. And think of how many pairs of shoes you've owned over your lifetime. Right? Remember when you were a kid and it was time to go back to school? What's the first thing mom and dad or whoever was taking care of you did? You got new shoes. You got new shoes. So they've been a way that we have walked the paths of life. They have carried us to school and to work, to celebrations and to tragedies. They protect us in many ways from the dangers of stepping on things. They protect us from the earth's danger, but they also separate us from the ground. It's a separation that can imply a kind of distancing. And in this case, it's a distancing from the creative, from the sacred aspects of earth itself. In many indigenous cultures, walking barefoot connects individuals with the land, suggesting intimacy with creation. Think of going on vacation, right? Walking along the beach in your bare feet. And shoes in this moment, in this context, can not only be a protection, but they can also be a barrier between us and the sacred of the natural beauty and creation of the earth. So Moses encounters the burning bush. It's this remarkable experience. What's remarkable about it? There's nothing remarkable about a bush burning in the desert. What's remarkable is the bush isn't consumed. It just continues to burn. And the event marks not just God's beginning in communication with Moses, but it signals really the beginning of this extraordinary relationship and what will become the people of Israel. Because before Moses engages and begins this monumental task of nation building, he's got to take his shoes off. He's got to connect. And here God says to Moses in this moment, the place you're standing on is holy. Take your shoes off. Feel it. Feel it. It serves as an invitation to enter into this spiritual moment, this beginning relationship between God and Moses, and eventually between God and the people of Israel. Perhaps the act of taking your shoes off symbolizes a kind of stripping away of barriers in our relationship with the world and perhaps with God. Several years ago during COVID, those of you who may not know, but we had only a few people here for high holiday services. And every year, Jesse and Yael delight in telling the story of how fabulous it was that we could lead services bare feet. Right? Well, God's command can be seen as a call to recognize and honor that moment of creation, of connecting physically with that moment around us. It's physical for sure, but it's also, I think, an internal connection, a spiritual connection. And in this experience of Shemot, the theme, I think, resonates deeply. The Israelites, as we are going to see over the next couple of weeks, are going to end their enslavement. They're about to enter a sacred covenant with God. They're about to reach freedom. And so as we reflect on that moment, right, that moment that our tradition, and we ask ourselves, what are the shoes that we wear? And what do our shoes separate us from? Do they separate us from God? Now, we can think about it physically or more metaphorically, right? What are the metaphoric shoes that separate us from God? Is it our busy schedules, our work, our material pursuits, our societal expectations? It's probably different for everyone. So maybe on this Shabbat, we can be mindful of what we have that disconnects us. What are the shoes that we can take off that connect us with the creation and with God? And as we begin this process, this new book, this book of Exodus, this book of leaving, this book of names, this book in which we will become the people of Israel and will begin that journey of return back to the land of Israel. We can all take off our shoes. We can ground ourselves in reverence. We can walk through life with an awareness of God, of the important and wonderful creation of the world. So as we begin this new book, we perhaps begin a new book in our own lives, one that honors us with holiness and allows us to experience the beauty and the wonder of creation. Shabbat Shalom. We'll turn together to page 282, and we rise for Elena.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגור עלינו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. Top of 284. שהוא נוטה שמיים ועושה ארץ ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל ושכינתו זו שכינתו זו בגובי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, כתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבות אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים נאמר, בארץ מתחת עינו. 287. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
Our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. I have the sad duty to announce to you that Jan Mandel passed away just a few moments before services this evening. There is a mystic tradition that says that those who die on Shabbat are given that extra special honor, that they are the ones who have given to their community. And in truth, it is so true in this case of somebody who has dedicated so much of their life to Temple and to the Jewish community at large. And it is also somewhat fitting that today we also read the name of Jan's father, Isidore Pinsky, as we remember him in his yahrzeit this evening. I will update people as we know more. I have no information about service times or anything else, but I will update people as soon as we know. You'll watch out for an email from Temple if you would. We are also in the period of Shiva for Carol Lux Brody, the sister of David Brody, and the last day of Shloshim for Alan Selling, the father of Lauren and Rob. And we will offer Lauren and your family condolences as you begin this hard process of the next stage of mourning. We are also in the period of Shiva for Renee Good, who was killed in Minneapolis, a member of a sister congregation of ours. And on this Shabbat, we observe yahrzeit for Robert Gluck, Herb Rubenfield, David Siegel, Solomon Stern, Adolf Spitzer, Sylvia Sibley, Cecilia Sobel, Shirley Spector, Josephine Strauss, Frank Vidmar, Essa Brown, Emil Hirsch, Matilda Cooperman, Ben Moses, Isidore Pinsky, Adolf Winters, Moses Garson, Bertha Auerheim Kohn, Florence Kaufman Stern, Albert Rosenstein, Sarah Schuster, Rachel Galinsky, Mary Jeskanowski, Thad Lewandowski, Harry Nichols Sr., If you're joining us via live stream and have a name that you would like to add, please add it into our chat. If you are here in person and would like to add a name, please do so. We turn to the words of Kaddish on page 294. Please rise. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah. Ba'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chayechon uv'yamechon. Uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael. Ba'agala v'zman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam u'lavne almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'al v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudsha barichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata. Da'amiran v'yalma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya. V'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom bimromav. Hu yaseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Please be seated. Julie, are you announcing? Very good.
Shabbat Shalom, both to our regulars and to our guests. We're glad you're here. Thank you to the Rabbi and Jesse for a beautiful service, as always. A few announcements, and you can read them in your pamphlet. There's canasta and mahjong. If you're interested, you can see the times and the days. Tomorrow, the Shabbat morning service will include a Torah service, so please come if you can. That's at 10 a.m. And on Sunday, there will be a program at the Erie Art Museum with Jesse and Lori Hitt about cantorial music or about
Music of hope.
music of hope. There's a blood drive at a sister congregation, the First Alliance Church. The office will be closed on Monday, January 19th for Martin Luther King Day. There's information on the Book of Ruth when they're meeting, and I will tell you, a lot of people don't ever read the book. They just come to listen, so you are welcome to join. An important announcement, because this was not in the bulletin, so if you're going by your bulletin, you'll be wrong. Saturday, January 14th and Saturday, January 31st, there will be no Torah service at Temple. It will be Torah study only via Zoom. So please note that at 11. And then there's a Tu B'Shvat Fruitful Celebrations Oneg after services on February 6th. One other thing, those of you who are regulars know every once in a while I talk about somebody on the art site list. And I'm going to do two very short ones. One, Herb Rubenfeld, the king of diamonds, is the way we all remember him. But for years and years and years, he led children's services on the High Holy Days, and he led all of the children's productions. I still remember some of the words from one of the ones I did one year at Purim. But he was a very integral part of the congregation, especially with the kids. And then Thad Lewandowski. Without his generosity, I'm not sure we would all be sitting in this building. So for those of you who are newer and never knew these people, I just want to point out a little bit of our history. Shabbat Shalom. Oh, thank you. Services this week are in memory of Frank Vidmar and Thad Lewandowski.
So we'll conclude with a song that is not in the prayer book, but we have done it before. It actually comes from a Quaker hymn, and we call it Sanctuary.
In honor of our guests. We'll do it in English first, and then we'll do it in Hebrew. God prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure, holy, tried and true, with thanksgiving. I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Basuri Mikdash Visharati Vitopamanu Nivanya Beata Beadona.
Turn back to page 5 as we thank God for the day of Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam moreh peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kishonu mitzvotav v'tzavanu v'shabbat kodsho v'yavarutzon hinchilanu zikon l'maseh bereshit ki hu yom techila v'mikra kodesh zecher tziyat Mitzrayim kivanu v'charta ve'otanu kidashta mikol v'shabbat kodshecha ve'avatzon hinachaltanu Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh Hashabbat. Amen.
L'chaim. And before we end, we have so much to be thankful for, including any birthdays or celebrations. So is anybody celebrating a birthday, an anniversary, something great? We need some good stuff. Make it up. Okay.
My
Okay.
mom's birthday was last week.
Well, happy birthday, Lynn. Yeah, I don't know if mom's
Yeah.
online or not,
Mom.
right? So we thank God for all the good things in our lives, and we join together in Shehechianu.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'ehlianu v'kimanu v'hiyanu lazman hazeh.
And straight from our Gesher 4 class, a home-baked challah.
We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lachem min haaretz. Amen.
If you please come and taste the challah, Shabbat Shalom to everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Hey, bud.